We are at war. We now face an opponent from beyond our world. They have technology decades beyond what we possess. I give you new orders. Survive, adapt, win. Welcome to XCOM.
XCOM is back with the Bureau, and frankly, it's got a pretty tough act to follow after last year's excellent Enemy Unknown. The Bureau XCOM Declassified takes us back to the very origins of the XCOM program in 1962, putting us in the shoes of Special Agent William Carter moments before the alien invasion.
What the hell?
But thankfully, Cold War paranoia has prepared America well for an all-out invasion. And you soon find yourself stationed inside the Bureau, and from there you'll head out on missions to fight off the extraterrestrial menace.
Jesus.
I love the combat in this game. Hex is a bit like Mass Effect. You pick 2 other agents for your squad, choosing from engineers, commandos, recon, and support classes, all of which have a bunch of special abilities and perks that you're going to need to make use of to survive.
It is much more strategic than Mass Effect though, isn't it? I mean, you can't just run and gun your way through levels, and your squad mates won't auto-use their abilities. So you have to regularly switch into command mode to slow time to a crawl and plan your attack. It's really satisfying to issue out a big list of orders and then watch as they're executed and decimate an enemy squad. Friendly and enemy AI is generally solid too. Your men will stay in cover and dodge grenades and usually help each other out if someone goes down, while enemies work together to give each other boosts and try to flank you.
Commander, are you okay?
I thought this was a great middle ground between that kind of turn-based and real-time combat. It's a nice strategy evolution, and it certainly feels like XCOM. And part of that comes to the fact that if an agent goes down and you don't revive them quickly, then that's it, they're dead. They cease to be.
Well, unless you reload your last checkpoint, which I'll admit is exactly what I did most of the time.
Yeah, I totally did that too, and it's actually a pretty weak permadeath mode because obviously you can't let the main character Carter die.
Also, while you're still free to name and customize your soldiers, the options are pretty limited. You can choose a few different perks as you upgrade them or change the color of some of their clothes, but that's about it. Fashion.
Well, there are those backpacks you can equip agents with which give them a particular boost. I liked it mostly because it made them look like Ghostbusters.
I think fans will be really disappointed that there aren't any research projects to do or autopsies that unlock new tech, and there's no base building at all really, which is a shame. The Bureau itself is just a hub to wander around and have boring conversations with people between missions. There are some pretty lame side missions scattered around too, which felt like busy work. It just lacks that depth that the series is known for.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked a few more little decisions to make. You can pretty much do every mission offered to you, so you'll never have to make a call to save one city over another or anything like that. And there's no penalty for ignoring side missions.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I loved about Enemy Unknown is that you always felt like you were making significant decisions, big or small, all the time, and there's just none of that here. Also, the story is a bit of a mess.
I didn't mind that. I loved the slightly campy 60s vibe to everything, from the retro outfits and cars, to the chunky computers, to the way everyone's smoking all the time. It's like Mad Men meets Aliens. I loved the clothes and the hairstyles, and I even didn't mind the bit of slow walking with the world's first mobile phone.
That's a solid copy, Carter.
Understood.
One thing I thought was really weird was how much they tried to make it seem like this all could have happened and then just been covered up. They kept talking about trying to keep everything a secret and making sure that the public didn't find out about this mass alien invasion.
Yes, I know they didn't have social media back then, but someone probably would have noticed hundreds and thousands of people missing.
Yeah, I think so.
Possibly hundreds of thousands have been infected or exposed. It's getting harder and harder to keep the outsider threat under wraps.
Overall, I think the shooting was great and I enjoyed the strategy. This really is my kind of game personally, although I think that hardcore XCOM fans may find it lacking in some areas, and maybe the price point is a little high. So I'm gonna give it 7.5 though. I had a really good time.
It's a 7 from me.